Diminishing value method. This is also known as written down method. Okay, yeah, reducing installment method. See, this method is used when the value of equipment is decreased rapidly when it is new. सपोज अगर एक इक्विपमेंट है, एक मशीनरी है, एक एसेट है, जब वो न्यू हो, ठीक है, तो उसकी वैल्यू रैपिडली डिक्रीज होती है एज कंपेयर टू व्हेन इट बिकम ओल्ड. ये कॉन्सेप्ट यहां पे यूज होता है, जस्ट क्लियर इट. सपोज अगर आपके पास एक इक्विपमेंट है, एक मशीनरी है, एक एसेट है, और सपोज वो न्यू है, तो व्हेन दैट एसेट इज न्यू, तो उसकी वैल्यू ज्यादा डिप्रिशिएट होती है एज कंपेयर टू व्हेन इट बिकम ओल्ड. ओके, सो सी, फॉर एग्जांपल, if the depreciation rate is 20%, suppose 20% is the depreciation rate. Now, for example, the initial value of the asset is $1,000, and for example, the lifetime is 10 years. Okay, and after 10 years, suppose the value is zero. After 10 years, suppose the value will be zero. Okay, new cost is $1,000, lifetime is 10 years, and at the end of its life, the value of the asset will be zero. Okay, now see, for first year, suppose the depreciation is 20%, so per first year we can say that 1000 divided by 10 multiplied by 0.2. Okay, so from this you can get that, suppose $200 will be depreciated per first year. Now see, per second year, the value remained is $800. The life remain is 9 years, and the depreciation is that 20%. समझ आ रहा है इसकी? Now, if you calculate it, suppose it give you $180, not some like this $180, for example. So for the second year, the depreciation will be $180. Now for the third year, see, for the third year, what will be the book value? That will be $620. The life remain is 8 years, and again the depreciation is 20%. So suppose for the third year the depreciation will be $165. So you can see that for the first year the value depreciated was $200. For second year the depreciation was $180. For third year the depreciation was $165. So with respect to the time, the depreciation rate is decreasing. So we can say that the depreciation was more when the equipment was new, and the depreciation is decreasing when the equipment, when the asset is becoming old. Okay, so rate of depreciation जो है वो diminish हो रहा है, वो reduce हो रहा है, वो installment जो है वो reduce हो रहे हैं, वो down हो रहे हैं. Okay, so that is called the diminishing value method. And at this method, the rate of depreciation will be equal to 1 minus n. That is the total useful life. Okay, R is the residual value. Yeah, that is the scrap value. That is the salvage value. And C is the new cost. Okay, that is the new cost, yeah, the initial cost or the first cost of the asset. So depreciation is charged on reducing balance on a fixed rate. Okay, mean जो balance reduce हो रहा है ना, see for the next year the asset value is $800, so the depreciation will be counted, yeah, will be determined from that value. Okay, per third year the value of the asset is $620. Okay, so the percentage at which the depreciation is charged remain fixed. Mean the depreciation percentage is fixed, which is 20% per each and every year, but it is accounted to the remaining value of the asset. समझ आ रहे इस point की? Is it clear? कोई क्वेश्चन है
सर
इसमें? जी,
सर ऐसा कोई केस बन सकता है जो डिप्रिसिएशन वैल्यू 0 हो जाए?
डिप्रिसिएशन वैल्यू 0 हो जाए?
रेट सर, सॉरी।
हाँ, इस तरह हो सकता है। सपोज अगर आपके पास एक इक्विपमेंट है, उसकी वैल्यू $1000 है आज, और 1 साल बाद बुक वैल्यू भी उसकी $1000 है, ठीक है, तो उसकी डिप्रिसिएशन रेट 0 होगा। जिस तरह लैंड है ना, जो जमीन होती है, उसकी डिप्रिशिएशन, उसमें उसकी डिप्रिसिएशन नहीं होता, वो तो उसकी वैल्यू इंक्रीज्ड होती है।
यस सर, यस
ठीक है,
सर, लैंड की केस में यस सर, बिल्कुल।
ओके। रिमेंबर, इन डिमिनिशिंग वैल्यू मेथड the percentage at which depreciation is charged will fixed. See, per each and every year, जिस तरह हमने एग्जांपल की ना, per each and every year the value is depreciated by 20% of the remaining amount. Clear? See, for example, the cost of machine is 10,000. Its scrap value will be 1,000 after 5 years. And for example, the depreciation rate is 20% by diminishing value method. Now also you can see that, for example, at constant rate पे अगर आप इसको कर ले, constant rate पे, okay, so constant rate will be 10,000 is the initial value, 1,000 is the scrap value, salvage value, and 5 years are the lifetime. So from here we will get 180. So 180 rupees or $180 will be depreciated each and every year. That is the जो फर्स्ट मेथड हमने की ना, स्ट्रेट लाइन मेथड. ओके, एंड a diminishing value method, see, for the first year the depreciation rate will be, जिस तरह हमने यहाँ पे की, that is the straight line method as we have discussed, like that is $1,800. Okay, clear? 18%, that is the fixed percentage method. Now diminishing value पे आप देखें, for the first year the amount is, the initial amount is 10,000. okay, suppose यहाँ पे 18 लिया हुआ है, लेकिन मेरे ख्याल में ये 20 होगा, बिकॉज प्रॉब्लम है वो 20% की बने, ठीक है, यहाँ पे 20% ले लें. So 20% will be depreciated for the first year. So it means that first year depreciation कितना होगा? That will be 2,000 rupees. Clear? Now, per second year, the depreciation rate is 20%, but per second year, the book value of the equipment is 18,000. समझ आ रहा है? Sorry, not 18,000, यार, 8,000. Because 2,000 was depreciated at first year. So for the second year, the value of the equipment remain is 8,000. So 20% of 8,000, 1,600 will be depreciated per second year. Okay. Now per third year, see, 2,000 is depreciated in first year, 1,600 is depreciated in second year. So the book value per third year will be 600, sorry, 6,400. समझ आ रहा है इसकी? Now 20% of this amount, that is 1280, 1280, that will be depreciated per third year. So you can see that per first year the depreciation rate was 2,000, per second year it is 1,600, per third year it is 1280. Similarly, their depreciation is decreasing. समझ आ रहा है इस पॉइंट की? Clear?
Yes.
सर ये डिप्रिशिएशन रेट इसमें 18% नहीं होगा?
जी
सर इसमें तो 18% होना चाहिए रेट, डिप्रिशिएशन रेट।
नहीं, सी आप देखें ना, अगर सपोज इस एग्जांपल को आप स्ट्रेट लाइन मेथड से कर लेना, स्ट्रेट लाइन मेथड से, तो 10,000 उसकी इनिशियल वैल्यू है, 1,000 उसकी स्क्रैप वैल्यू है, और लाइफ उसका कितना है? 5 ईयर है। तो हर साल 18% डिक्रीज होगा, सॉरी 1800 अमाउंट जो है वो डिक्रीज होगा हर साल। 18, फर्स्ट ईयर भी 1800 होगा, सेकंड ईयर भी 1800 होगा, थर्ड फोर्थ फिफ्थ ईयर भी 1800 होगा। ठीक है, ये स्ट्रेट लाइन मेथड है। डिमिनिशिंग वैल्यू मेथड ये है, और डिमिनिशिंग वैल्यू मेथड डिप्रिशिएशन रेट इज गिवन व्हिच इज 20%।
ओके सर।
ओके, सो हर साल बुक वैल्यू की जो 20% है, दैट विल बी द डिप्रिशिएटेड रेट। So for the first year, the value, the book value is new value. ये तो new value और book value same होगी for the first year. That is 10,000. Of the 10,000 is $2,000. So 2,000 will be depreciated at first year. Now per second year, the remaining value of the product is 8,000. So 20% of 8,000 will be depreciated per second year. So that is 1,600. Now per third year, the book value of the asset is 6,400. So 20% of 6,400 will be depreciated per third year. तो देखिए रेट ऑफ डिप्रिशिएशन जो है वो डिक्रीज हो रहा है। ठीक है,
ओके सर।
So that was a term of the economics that is most important. Okay, that the rate, yeah, we can say that the value of the assets is decreased with respect to the time. Value of the tangible assets decreased with respect to the time, which is called depreciation. We have different methods, but we have discussed the two methods. Okay. Now see, as we are discussing the different terminologies of the accounts, so हमारे पास जो है, let me clear it. See, हमारे पास दो टर्म्स है ना, एक इकोनॉमिक्स है एंड एक जो है दैट इज अकाउंटिंग। इकोनॉमिक इज द डिसीजन मेकिंग in term of money. Okay, if you are deciding about your assets in term of money, that is called economics. And accounting is the preparation of the financial record. Okay, the assets going out from the organization or the assets coming into the organization. So if you are keeping the record of that flow, that is called accounting. Okay, and then we have the branches of the economic. one is the finance, and second one is the accounting. Also, you can say that accounting is the branch of economic. Okay, we have two branches of the economics. One is called finance, and second one is called accounting. Okay, so in finance, basically we are dealing with the assets requirements for an organization. Okay, if you have an organization, if you have a company, and suppose you are looking for the its assets, for its resources, suppose human resources, physical resources, financial resources, are different assets requirements that come under the category of the finance. And in accounting, again, we are dealing with that flow, cash flow. Okay, that how the assets are coming into the organization and how they are going out from the organization. So in accounting, basically we are preparing a balance sheet. Okay, एक balance sheet prepare करना होता है इसमें, that is called the balance sheet. That, for example, at the start of the organization, how much amount you have invested for the building, for the machinery, how much amount you have invested for the purchasing of the raw material, how much amount you are investing in the salaries of the employees, how much amount you are investing in taxes and rents. Okay, so that is the cash flow which is going from the organization. Okay, then at the second side, we have the revenue. Suppose you are preparing something and you are selling it in the market, so you will get some revenue, you will get some profit. Okay, so see, keeping the record of these things in tabulated form, that is called the balance sheet, in which come under the accounting, because it is a type of preparation of the record. Okay, basically in accounting, yeah, in accounts, we are dealing with different things. See, first one is the assets, that how much is the tangible assets, how much is the intangible assets, the current asset, the fixed assets. Okay, इसका जो आप रिकॉर्ड रखते हैं ना, तो ये accounting में आ जाता है, that how much is your fixed asset, how much is your current asset, how much is the tangible, how much is the intangibles. Okay, then second, we have the liabilities. Okay, liabilities, that is the, suppose, the amount which a company have to pay. ठीक है, अगर आपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को इस्टेब्लिश करने के लिए आपने बैंक से लोन लिया हुआ है, तो लोन आपने पे करना होगा along with the interest, that is called liability. अगर आप सपोज एक बिल्डिंग आपने किराया पे लिया हुआ है, रेंट पे लिया हुआ है, so you will have to pay the rent, that is the liability. You will have to pay the taxes, you will have to give the salaries of the employees. Okay, so anything which you have to pay, जो आपने किसी को देना है, that is called the liability. Clear? Next जो term होता है, that is the equity. Equity is the paver amount of the owner. ठीक है, जब आप एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्टार्ट करते हैं, एक बिजनेस स्टार्ट करते हैं, सो इनिशियल योर ओन इन्वेस्टमेंट जो है, दैट इज द इक्विटी. क्लियर? आपकी जो अपनी पैसे है ना, इसको इक्विटी कहते हैं. आपने जो लोन लिया हुआ है, दैट यू विल हैव टू पे, इसको लिएबिलिटी कहते हैं. एंड रिमेंबर, लिएबिलिटी प्लस इक्विटी, दैट इज द total assets. Total assets of an organization will be equal to liability plus equity. इसको याद रखें, ठीक है. So equity is the owner own amount, liability is the loan, yeah, which will have to pay, which will be paid, and the sum of liability and equity is called assets. Okay, then another term into which we are dealing, that is the revenue, which is the income. Suppose if you have a company, you have an organization, if you are manufacturing some materials, and for example you will sell it in the market, so you will get in return some money, some revenue, some income. That is called revenue. Okay, and one we have the expenses. During the manufacturing of that product, you will purchase some raw material. Okay, some power will be required, so that will be expenses. Clear? And also another term, the depletion. Okay, for example, if you have purchased the raw material at the initial stages, yeah, at the startup in organization, now that raw material will be utilized for the manufacturing purposes. Okay, and the quantity of that raw material will be decreased with respect to the time. That is called depletion. Okay, तो ये terminologies जो है, these are most important. See, we are dealing with the economics. Then we have two branches of the economics. One is called the finance. Second one is called the accounting. In accounting, we are dealing with the assets, liabilities, equities, revenue, expenses, and depletion. इसके साथ हम deal करते हैं. ठीक है? Clear?